Every Crusader Kings III player attempts to restore the Roman Empire, usually starting as the Byzantines, sometimes starting as the Holy Roman Empire, but there's a third, more challenging way to do it. As a character of Latin heritage, you can take the decision to unify Italy, unlocking the ability to form the Roman Empire. Now, I don't want to just restore the Roman Empire. I want to see it rise to its former glory. Not a shadow of Rome, but the full empire, stretching from Britain to the Holy Land. On top of that, I want to make the city of Rome a shining beacon in a world of unenlightened people. To do this, we will of course have to start as an Italian character. I thought about starting as Hastings, but it looked a little something like this. Well, that was easy. So instead, we will be starting as a vassal of Italy. Well, technically a vassal of a vassal. Here's our guy, Count Supo of Ferrara. He's an Italian Catholic, and we're going to help his family turn the Kingdom of Romagna into an absolute powerhouse, eventually turning it into the Roman Empire. Hopefully the Byzantines don't mind. There are just a few rules to make this truly the Romanist empire of all time. We can only directly control land within the Kingdom of Romagna. We have to stay Catholic, so no creating an OP religion and abusing by the sword this time. And lastly, we have to keep our culture as Roman as possible. With those rules sorted out, let's bring Rome back. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. The goal is to hit 25,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and if we do so, I'll host a crazy multiplayer event. Speaking of events, there will be an event this Saturday where we will have the Byzantine Empire attempt to form the Roman Empire. If you'd like, you can join with a link in the description. We're a trickster who's paranoid, which literally doubles the amount of stress you gain. I'm gonna start by resetting our perks as I don't need to torture anybody, and I'm gonna switch over to a stewardship lifestyle, because if you look over here, there's this meritocracy perk, which gives you the claim throne scheme, which lets you fabricate a claim on your liege's title. So yeah, I'll get us a well focus for the extra income, and now I can go back to the intrigue page to use those perks we reset to go down and get the entire schemer tree. This will make us real good at murder and kidnapping. To top it all off, we're our liege's spymaster, which will make intrigue actions against him very easy. The first goal of this game will be to get the Empire of Romagna. Now the Pope currently owns this, but most of the land is within our liege's realm, which means we can begin taking some of the land from our fellow vassals. Our neighbor here is making quite a bit of money actually, and it's all due to this special building that gives an insane 30% holding taxes buff, while also giving an insane buff to development. We can't just declare war on him immediately as we're both Catholic, so I'll have to get our bishop to fabricate a claim on the county, which will take us 17 months. I just pressed play and we immediately got a boatload of stress debuffs thanks to the paranoid trait. We got so stressed that we've now become a lunatic. You know what? Being a lunatic isn't too bad. I do really want to get rid of the stress though, so I'll be hosting a feast to reduce that. Our claim was just completed and it's going to cost us literally all of our gold. That's okay though, because once we take this county, we should be making a lot more money. I have less troops than him, but I have a lot of kids. I found this alliance here with the Duke of Balaton, and he has a lot more troops. We can now declare war and call in our ally, using the prestige from the feast we held. I'm just gonna sit here and wait for my ally to come over. I mean, they really don't stand a chance against that. Now we just need to siege the castles. And yep, that was fast. And now we have some more land. The county is at 0 control, which means we're not making any money from it, so I'm setting my marshal to increase the control. I just unlocked the meritocracy perk. We can now start a claim throne scheme against our liege, which should be pretty easy as we are his spymaster. If we auto-invite agents, the success chance gets up to 69.
Nice.
We'll just have to wait for the keys now. So my character just banned clothes in court. How interesting. Okay, just ignore that. Back in the claim throne scheme, we can bribe people who don't want to join to get some better agents. These middle people improve the scheme speed. On the left, these people improve the scheme success rate. And the last guy on the right increases the secrecy. It's time to execute the scheme now that we have 5 keys. There we go. We spent some prestige and got a claim on the Duchy of Spoleto. We now have the ability to create a claimant faction on our liege. We could just fight him in a war to get the land, but I don't think I could win that. What I can do is start the subduct scheme on Duke Lambert. A bunch of people will join us, so it should be pretty easy. We've gotten the keys so I can execute the scheme. And bam, we got our liege as a prisoner. Now let's go over here and press our demands for the faction. He said no, of course, so it's starting a war. But, you know, we have the enemy war leader as a prisoner, which just gives us 100 war score. It's that easy. It looks like we didn't get all the land, but we now have the Duchy of Spoleto. Capua now holds the rest of Romagna that we want. Remember that first county we took? The capital holding is a temple, which we can't hold directly. I want to change the capital county to this castle here, so I can actually get some taxes. But unfortunately, we can't revoke the secondary castle from our vassal, because we don't have limited crown authority, which we can't increase without the Plan Assembly's innovation. Fortunately, we got some new counties just now, actually a total of 5, but our max is 3. You get another domain slot for every 6 stewardship points. To increase our stewardship, we can change our wife to manage domain. That wasn't quite enough though, because we just straight suck at stewardship. I can also change ourselves over to a domain focus for +3 stewardship, which will be enough for another holding slot. Now I just have to grant away 1 county instead of 2. To continue expanding to take Romagna, I'll have to fabricate another claim. The claim has been completed. I can beat him in this war, but we have a truce, so I'll have to wait again. While waiting, we can use our money to buy buildings, like the farms and fields for an extra 0.5 gold per month. The farms and fields finished building, so next I'm building the trade port for some more gold and some development growth. I'm making sure to build economic buildings in every county we own to continue to increase our gold income. With our first dynasty legacy, I'll be starting the erudition tree, as I want to get the third one called treasured knowledge for the plus 20% development growth. We just passed away, and our son and heir, the new king, has a martial education, which is perfect for us. I'm planning to do a lot of wars with this guy, so I'm buying some more men-at-arms. I'm going with bowmen, as they are pretty cheap for the amount of damage they do. We lost some land to our brother, so I'm going to war for the land. He only has 73 troops, so I think we're good. And with that, we're back to controlling all the same land as our father. I had to wait the fabricated claim once again, as fabricated claims go away on death. Now that we have the claim, we can declare war. Except, these guys have quite a few allies, so I really don't think we could beat them in our current state. Italy just got taken over by Lotharingia, so I guess we're a part of that now. I'm not sure if this changes anything, but it's kind of funny. Tuscany just declared war on us, and they want my county of Spoleto. The first thing I'm gonna do is marry off our son to this guy's sister for an alliance. Secondly, I'm gonna upgrade our men-at-arms as much as possible, so I'm buying some archers. I'm hoping that with our ally, we will be strong enough to defend ourselves. To make ourselves even stronger, I can find an unmarried female courtier and arrange a marriage with someone who has a high prowess. I can do this with all of our unmarried courtiers to get good generals and good knights. We're in the mountains with our allies and they're going to attack us. It looks like we're winning the battle. Oh, okay, well, the war ended because the enemy leader died. That makes things easier. I've kind of just been waiting around to get plenary assemblies, and we finally got it. I can now up our crown authority to level 2. This will let us revoke the titles of our vassals. Vassals only pay a % tax to you, while controlling the land directly gives you 100% of the taxes and manpower. We have a claim on the title, letting us revoke it without penalty. We do have to fight him for it, but he doesn't have much of a military. There we go. With him in prison, we can revoke the title. This county is the one with the capital set to a temple, but now we can revoke the secondary vassal's title, which will let us move the county capital to a castle, allowing us to hold it. Now we're actually making money from this county. Oh, come on, again? I'm buying more men-at-arms yet again. I'm also able to ally myself with Upper Lotharingia. Their army is attacking me right away, when neither of our allies have arrived. Our liege died, and Italy split up from Lotharingia. So now the war is technically between Italy and Lotharingia for my land. That made it kinda easy, as my liege used their superior army to protect me. Lots of time has passed, and these guys no longer have the large military they used to. So it's finally time to start uniting Romagna. They formed a new alliance, and that caused us to lose a battle. So I'm using our extra money to buy even more men-at-arms, completely filling our slots.
Victory screech!
The Newmen helped us win, and we have yet another county. We are in a weird situation where the Byzantine armies are invading our land. They're at war with our liege for this county right below us, which is scary. While we wait for our truce to end, I can continue to upgrade our economic buildings to become stronger. With this new land, we've become the culture head, which means we get to pick what to research next. We just entered the early medieval, and we will go for manorialism first, which unlocks the early medieval economic buildings. We actually have enough counties to usurp the Kingdom of Romagna from the Pope, but we can't do so until we become independent. Lotharingia doesn't have the strongest military, so I'm creating an independence faction. I can even marry my kid to form an alliance with France, which should make getting independence easy. Our liege just lost a populist uprising as well, so their military should be hurting. I'm going to press my demands and hope for the best. I can call in France, and we should be able to win this thing. We easily won, with the help of France, of course, and we are now an independent realm. Once I get enough money, I'll be a king of my own. It didn't take too long, as I am making good money, and now we're at 500 gold and can become a king. As a king, it's time to take the rest of Romagna. Benevento has one county in the kingdom, so we can go ahead and take that now. One of the most important things about playing tall is increasing the development of your land. It increases the research speed and directly affects the amount of gold you make. Our culture has plenty of open slots for a new tradition. I'm going with the garden architects tradition, which gives you a court position called the court gardener that increases development in your capital. We're right on the edge of death, but we have a lot of sons and our realm will be split apart. As a Catholic, we can ask our son to take vows, which would remove him from succession. Luckily for us, this son said yes, so now we only have 3 kids to worry about. This son doesn't want to take the vows, but we can imprison him, and now that he's in prison, we can force him to take the vows in his release negotiations. Okay, now we have 2 extra sons left. They're both too young to take the vows. We can't even force them to take the vows when negotiating release. There's one last option. After executing my 2 kids, succession is secured. I'm starting this war right before dying to get some use out of the claim. And we died. Our new son is actually a steward, which is great as we'll be able to make lots of money. I also married this guy to a genius as the start of our eugenics program. I haven't really been liking the new Coronations DLC, but we did just get this amazing set of armor as a gift, so maybe it's growing on me. The eugenics is working and our first son is intelligent. We can educate him ourselves to guarantee a stewardship education. We can also have a court tutor set to educate children, which will increase his stats. We won the war our father started to get yet another Romagna county. I'm going to start promoting the Italian culture in these Lombard counties, as I want to be able to get the bonuses once we begin unlocking new techs. Lotharingia just fell apart, and these guys got independence. I'm actually able to vassalize them now for low feudal obligations, which means we now own all of Romagna. Except for the Papal State of Rome. We have to make Rome our capital, of course, so it was always a part of the plan to take it from the Pope. I just got a claim on Rome. Funnily enough, the Pope will still give us money. How nice of him. While Rome technically only has 2,000 men, he has a lot of money that he will use to buy every single mercenary in Europe to crush us, so we need a stronger military. I'm going to create more armored footmen, and before declaring war, I want to fill out all our men-at-arms slots. In the architect tree, I just got divided attention, which lets you hold 2 more domains, so that's just more money potential. I'm using all the money we're getting to continue getting those men-at-arms. We're getting closer and closer to maxing them out. I'm also forming alliances like this one with Galicia. I continued fabricating claims on the Pope in hopes for this. There's a chance to get a claim on an entire duchy instead of just a county, and we managed to do just that. We'll now be able to declare war for the entire Papal State. Okay, I've done it. My men-at-arms are maxed out. And with that, it's time to declare war for the Duchy of Latium. We got our allies Danelaw, Galicia, and France to call in. They're immediately attacking us, but I have a better commander and defender advantage. My allies arrived and helped me siege some castles, but the Pope has spent all their money on mercenaries to get 9,000 troops. I'm going to try to attack while they are sieging to get a defender advantage again. And we won the opponent fight. I sieged another castle to bring us to 100 war score. We now have all the Kingdom of Romagna, which will be the main source of our power for the rest of the game. We control all but one of the duchy titles. I want to hold all the duchy titles, so I'll have to get a claim on that. Now that we have the kingdom we want, I'll give independence to those counties outside the kingdom that I don't really want. I'm increasing development and control in Rome, and now I'm making it my capital. I will continue to upgrade buildings and develop this land to become super rich. Now that we have the entire Kingdom of Romagna, the next step in forming the Roman Empire is to unify Italy. It requires us to control the entire Italian peninsula and the region of Illyricum. I've actually gotten to the point where all my counties are maxed out, so I'm just waiting on the next innovations to get researched. I also need to continue promoting my culture in the Lombard counties so that when I do unlock the innovations, I can make use of them in more places. To research stuff quicker, we can select the scholarship focus for the extra development growth, and then when possible, unlock the scientific perk, which increases research speed. Our next innovation will be completed in 7 years. We can't do it now, but one of the goals was to keep our culture as Roman as possible, which means I will want to form a hybrid culture with the Greeks. The Byzantines are very strong right now, so I will have to gain strength before challenging them to take a Greek county. The Duke of Ancona joined another vassal in a war against tyranny, which gives me a fair reason to remove his title, giving me exactly what I want, all 4 duchies. The game is telling us that we're holding too many duchies, but the penalty isn't bad at all. It just makes our vassals have a negative opinion penalty towards us, but we're strong enough for that not to matter. We want to hold all the duchy titles ourselves so we can make use of each duchy building. Even though he took the Pope's land, he'll still give us money. Thanks, Pope. We're also making almost 40 gold a profit per month already. Currently, the regions we need include the Empire of Italia, but also Sicily, which is a part of the Byzantine Empire, and Croatia, which is also a part of the Byzantine Empire. I think we should first try to form the Empire of Italy, before trying to face the Byzantines. We have some neighbors that are just down to become vassals for us for free, so I might as well add them to our kingdom. Our new vassal of Corsica actually has a claim on the Duchy of Tuscany, so we can claim it for him to add it to our realm. Our realm currently looks like this, with some interesting border gore, but we are getting larger. Some weird succession thing happened, and we lost the county in Romagna, but I'll take that back eventually, of course. Hungary owns some land in the de jure Kingdom of Italy, and it is land that I need. They're Taltosist, so we can declare a holy war for the land. We still have a lot of powerful allies that I am calling in. I just started the war, and now I've unlocked manorialism. This will let us construct duchy buildings, like the Royal Reserves, which gives some gold and a ton of development growth. Once we unlock battlements, we will also be able to upgrade our economic buildings. Speaking of battlements, we're going for that next. It'll take 20 years. Because we're fighting a hostile faith, we can hire a holy order to add more numbers to our military. I also have enough money to purchase some mercenaries. The battle was absolutely crazy, but we managed to win it. I don't know how, but they just keep getting more and more troops to send my way. The low supplies in the mountains are really hurting me here. I'm struggling to keep them from dying of attrition. We did it! It took a long 8 years as both sides just kept trading castles back and forth. It was painful, but we did succeed, so it's all good now. We're 1 county away from forming the Empire of Italia now. It's perfect. The 1 county we lost earlier got its independence from Italy, and is just sitting right here, undefended. We just got the 3rd dynasty legacy, so we now have a 20% dev growth bonus. And there we go, the last county we need to form our first empire title. Actually, we need 2 kingdom titles first. We can take the Kingdom of Italy from this child. Now we can create the Empire of Italia. All these little nations in the north will now accept vassalization from us, making it so we own the entire empire except for Sardinia. So of course that means we're going to take Sardinia, which we can easily do as it's a part of our de jure now. It was an easy war, and we now have all of Italia. I'd love to control this county with the insanely strong mine, but we can't, as that would be breaking the rules. We can only directly control Romagna. Now that we control the Empire of Italia, the next place to expand would either be Sicily or into Croatia. I'll start with all the land that the Byzantines don't own first over here. The land is owned by other faiths, so we can declare holy wars for it. I really don't want to deal with supplies, so I'm just raising my men-at-arms. Battlements. I can go ahead and upgrade all of our castles to level 2. Once these castles finish upgrading, we will be able to upgrade our economic buildings up to level 3 and then level 4. And I'll go for bailiffs next for the extra building slot to get ourselves even more money. A few of our counties are still not Italian, so I'm getting our vassals to convert the culture. Only the ones in Romagna though. I don't want our culture to spread too far. If the culture spread further, it would reduce our average development and therefore research speed. To keep our culture in only a few counties, I make sure to grant land away to local nobles instead of Italian nobles. Now that our castles are upgraded, I can upgrade our economic buildings. our income will continue to rise. We're up to 50 gold of profit per month. We've passed away again, but at this point it doesn't matter too much. I'm making sure my heirs are always good stewards so that I can continue to hold as many counties as possible. There's just a couple Catholic counties left that I'm fabricating claims on. After this, however, it'll just be Byzantine land to take. Wait, this county's culture is Greek. I thought it was Croatian because the colors are pretty similar. We can give it to a local Greek to start the process of forming a hybrid culture. I can start promoting cultural acceptance with our steward. It takes 40% acceptance to form a hybrid culture, and we're at 7% and gaining 1.3 per month. Just off that, it would take 25 to 30 years to reach 40%, but there are events that increase cultural acceptance that we should get to speed that up. It's just the Byzantines left to beat, and they are pretty big and strong. I'm gonna have to keep upgrading our buildings to build up strength to even come close to the Byzantines' power. Forming a hybrid culture with the Greeks would definitely make us stronger, so I'll focus on that too. I can do a tour to my Greek vassal to improve acceptance. The tour isn't over yet, but we just unlocked bailiffs, so that's another building slot and another way to get stronger. After the tour, we're up to 23% acceptance. The Greek culture will get us some innovations and some cool traditions. The reason the Byzantines are so strong is that they're a large administrative realm. The ruler can use their influence to get men-at-arms from their vassals. Just look at how many men-at-arms they have. They would absolutely crush us in the 1v1 right now. We have enough renown for our 4th dynasty legacy, so I can pick a new branch to go down. I've decided to go down the customs branch. It isn't what I would normally go for, and I don't think it's all that strong. But it sure will make sense for the Roman Empire. It'll make it easier to maintain high cultural acceptance with all the other cultures that will live within our realm. What's more Roman than taking a bunch of stuff from other cultures and combining and improving them? This first tradition will make vassals of other cultures like us more. The Byzantines are Orthodox, which means we can't declare a holy war against them. The Great Schism hasn't happened yet, so we are not hostile towards each other, so getting a war goal may prove challenging. This guy here is a claimant of the Kingdom of Croatia. I invited him to our court, but we are unable to use his claim to take the kingdom. We could use it to take Hungary, but that's not what we want. Wait, I didn't change anything, but we have the option to do a holy war against the Byzantines now. They also have way fewer troops. Oh, I see. The previous leader died, and the new ruler is of a different faith. Not only does this let us do a holy war, but it'll also make the Byzantine vassals go against their leader. I really don't think we'll ever have a better opportunity, so I just have to go for the Kingdom of Croatia here. I can call East Francia and France to the war to get our numbers up. Since it's a holy war, I can also get this holy order with 4,000 troops in here. The Byzantine armies are disorganized as the first battle is about to start. We won the first battle of the war. They've really amped up their numbers, and we're definitely about to get crushed in this battle. Good thing we're making good money, because I'm really gonna have to spend it all on some mercenaries. Maybe some more alliances will help too. Well, now this is certainly an interesting development. The Byzantines just broke out into a crazy civil war. This should hopefully help us. Well damn, that battle was close, but we won it. The war has been going on for 4 years, and we're only at a 28% war score, so I just gotta keep going for it. It's been a while since I last saw the Byzantine army, but they're arriving back to fight us, and I'm gonna try to attack them right when they get off the boat to give us a huge advantage. I actually can't believe we lost that. Our allies kinda suck. They're taking this time to siege some castles back. We just got the household soldiers innovation so we can increase the size of all our men-at-arms regiments. These extra men should help us win the upcoming battles. We can also buy even more mercenaries. Although at this point, I think some of the ones we hired earlier are gone as their contracts have run out. We're so close to finally winning the war. We're at 93% war score. Let's go. With that castle siege, we've won the war. That was 10 brutal years of war. But we now control pretty much all of Croatia. We'll have to fight Carpathia for the last county at some point, but that shouldn't be too hard. We still need to fight the Byzantines to get Serbia and Sicily. It was an incredible situation for us as they were in civil war, and I can't expect to be as lucky next time I fight them. They've overthrown the ruler of a different religion, so they will likely be much more stable now. We are getting closer and closer to unifying Italy, but if I want to beat the Byzantines again, I'll need to get stronger, and I think the best way to do that is to just form this hybrid culture. Because the war was so long, I can hold another Majesty tour for cultural acceptance. And just like that, we're up to over 40% acceptance, and now we can form that hybrid culture. We'll get the bureaucratic ethos, which increases development and research speed. Now for the traditions. I'll keep Republican legacy, as it makes our cities give us more money and development. I'll also be keeping garden architects for development as well. From the Greeks, I'll add Imperial Tagmata. It adds lots of men-at-arm types, but the most important one are these Cataphractoi, which are an amazing heavy cavalry unit. This tradition also makes heavy cavalry regiments bigger, so our army is about to be insane. I'll also be adding Palace Politics. While we're not bureaucratic, it still gives us the ability to castrate prisoners, which makes them unable to inherit titles, giving us another way to fix succession issues. And of course, we're adding Roman ceremonies. This tradition won't really do much for us, but it is super Roman, and why wouldn't we want to hold chariot races? I'll call the culture Neo-Roman, and give it a nice red. And the Romans are back, baby! A combination of Italian and Greek, which to me is pretty Roman. Only these 3 counties converted automatically, so I will have to change the rest of Romagna to the new culture. Although, with only Rome being our culture, our research speed is incredibly fast. To keep it this way, I'm setting all our vassals to do something other than promote culture, as by default, they'll try to make everything Roman. Ah, that's unfortunate. We just died while our heir is only 10 years old. Luckily, our regent is pretty good, and allows us to continue holding all of our domains. I went ahead and took that last Croatian county we needed. Well, I was not expecting that. It's not for very much land, so at least if we lose, it's not that big of a deal. I'm replacing our onagers with mangonels, as I just recently unlocked them. I'm also going to get a stack of Cataphractoi, and damn, are they expensive to buy, and expensive to maintain. But look at those stats. I think it's going to be worth it. Our army is raised and ready to attack. The enemy is kind of separated, which makes it easier for us. We're right on the edge of losing this battle, so I bought some mercenaries to raise here. Ooh, nice. Adding them to the battle is getting us that win. This has put us in just a bit of debt. With those battle victories, we can offer a white peace to the Byzantines to get them the fuck out of here. I want to end the war as quickly as possible so I can start making that money back, and troops are expensive. I'm making a lot of money already, so I'm going to start building some military buildings and a couple of castles, specifically things like stables to increase heavy cavalry stats. Wait, are you serious? Again? I suppose now is as good of a time as any to upgrade our military. I'll remove the light cavalry and upgrade them to something a little more powerful. Heavy cavalry are just the best, and with our cultural tradition, there's no reason to go anything else when we have the money for them. If we get this guy with the aggressive attacker trait into our court using a marriage, we'll be able to use him for something special. We can now create an accolade with him. We can use him as a Lancer accolade, which increases our max size of heavy cavalry units, while also increasing their damage and toughness even more. Eventually, I want our entire army to be completely full of these Cataphractoi, but they're too expensive for us at the moment. It's time to battle yet again. It was surprisingly easy this time. They'll actually accept the white peace already. And once again, I'd rather just end the war now instead of having another 10-year, long, drawn-out war. To take land from the Byzantines, we're going to need claims, and I'm starting with Sicily. Also, I was trying to kill the Byzantine emperor, but it's not working, so I'm just going to end it. I have a Byzantine claimant in my court, but if I did this war for the entire Byzantine Empire, the claimant would just become independent after the war, and nothing would have changed. We're really hoping for the duchy claims, as it'll go much quicker if we get them. The plan is to fabricate claims for all of Sicily, then go to war for them all at the same time. I could just declare war for this, but can you imagine how long it would take to get all of Sicily? Okay, that's actually crazy. A third time? My army now consists of just heavy cavalry, and heavy infantry, and siege units of course, but they don't fight. Let's see how our men-at-arms do. Holy crap, the smackdown! Okay. We can't beat literally every army, but they had to get a lot more troops to come at me. They have so many troops this time, like 25,000 maybe? Let's see what our army can do. Did I say 25,000? Apparently it was 36,000. Unfortunately, we lost this one, but we didn't lose all that much land, so it should be okay. There's another duchy claim, and we're getting close to having a claim over all of Sicily. I'm real close to maxing out all our buildings in this era, which should give us hopefully enough strength to defeat the Byzantines once the rest of our claims get finished. I'm getting rid of our heavy infantry, as our income is up to 100 profit per month, so I think it's time to max out the heavy cavalry. I'll leave those slots empty for now so we don't have to pay the maintenance, but when it's time to attack, I'll buy all the troops we need. So we have religious patronage as a cultural tradition, but it's not really important for what we're going for. Instead, I'll switch it with city keepers, which lets you build windmills or watermills in cities. Those two are like the absolute best buildings in the game, so having them in cities will make our counties get developed super quickly. It also goes well with Republican legacy, which already makes cities better. Okay, we just need one more claim for all of Sicily. I'm gonna buy all the heavy cavalry units we can, which is a lot, and incredibly expensive. We have all the claims on Sicily now, so it's time for war. We should just need our men-at-arms, as they do a ton of damage. Yeah, okay. That proves it. There's no chance anyone can stand against us. I'm fabricating claims on the Serbia area, and we keep getting the option for the whole duchy. Our current bishop has 33 learning, so he's really putting in the work for us. That war was pretty anticlimactic as we won the battles immediately, but we now have Sicily. The entire Italian peninsula is ours. Wait, we also have Constantinople. I had forgotten that I fabricated a claim on this county a long time ago. In the learning tree, there's the Sanction Loopholes perk, and it lets you buy claims with piety. So I bought the claims I needed and can now declare war for the rest of the land I need to unify Italy. Another very anticlimactic war. I kind of just sieged castles until winning fairly quickly. I'm continuing the trend of granting land to local nobles. And we have all the land we need to unify Italy. The entire region of Italia and the region of Illyricum. The decision actually gave us some new techs that we normally can't get until at least 1050. It also makes all of our land into our de jure empire, so our empire title now consists of all of this. Look at this. We have guilds way earlier than we should. We also have men-at-arms, which increases our regiment size by 4 and regiment max by 1, which just means we can easily have the strongest military in the world right now. I don't know if we can afford it though. The next goal will be the one you have all been waiting for. The next challenge is to restore the Roman Empire. We need some Byzantine duchies, all the Orthodox holy sites from the looks of it, and Tunis. And of course, once we take this decision, we get the Roman Empire title. If we wanted to declare war on a lot of land at once, we're unable to do so, since as an emperor, you are not allowed to buy a claim on a kingdom. What we can do is go to the title, then up here, click the claimants tab. We can see all the people who have a claim on the kingdom. We can then find one to invite to our court. Now because we have that guy in our court, when we go to declare war on Burgundy, we can use his claims to declare the war. It'll make him the king of Burgundy, but since we're an empire, he'll become a vassal of us. We have a ton of heavy cavalry, so no one should be able to stop our invasions. I think we really need to only worry about succession problems and revolts. There we go, there's Burgundy. Now we can get a claimant for Aquitaine. They're all from the Koifish dynasty. This guy can be invited to our court, so we'll use his claim. Good luck, Aquitaine. They needed more than luck. Using these war goals is kind of nice as everything is handled for us. We don't need to hand out titles, and the vassals immediately love us, even though they are of a different culture. There's no claimants for France that we can invite to our court, so we'll have to wait for that one to be born later. Looking east, we need Thrace, Athens, and Thessalonica from the Byzantines to form the Roman Empire. Kingdoms in the Byzantine Empire don't really have claimants due to how the administrative system works, where titles are passed on through votes and influence instead of claims. We could go for a single duchy at a time if we wanted to, but that would take many years of waiting for truces to end. I'll deal with the Byzantines later. I'll probably just have to spend all of our piety to buy a bunch of duchy claims. Another location we need is Alexandria in Egypt, and there's plenty of claimants for that. The claimant is Ashari instead of Catholic, which makes sense, but could potentially pose a problem. I can demand his conversion. Sometimes people will recline this, but he's got a 100% acceptance rate. Now we can use his claim to take Egypt for the empire, and it'll go to a Catholic, who is much less likely to rebel against us. Okay, that's crazy. I've beaten you guys so many times and you're still trying to invade me? I'm not really worried, since I'm way stronger than them at this point, but it is annoying how they chose to attack now. I'll deal with the Byzantines first, then invade Egypt. And we're out here stack wiping armies 3 times our number. That was easy. Let's go take Egypt now. Easy dub for the Empire. There's Alexandria checked off the list. I have a lot of piety, so I'm gonna start buying claims on the Byzantine duchies. We may have plenty of piety, but as an honest character, it causes us stress every single time we buy a claim, which does put a bit of a limit on the amount we can buy. I bought claims on all the important duchies and some extra, so now we can declare war. I don't think this war should be very hard. Yeah, that was nuts. There's all the Byzantine land we need to form the empire. Now we just need Antioch, Palestine, and Tunis. Tunis is controlled by a few different people, including the Byzantines, which I didn't realize until now, unfortunately. Well, we control half of Tunis at least. The Abbasids control both Palestine and Antioch, so I can buy claims on those duchies to take them. I keep having to hold events to get rid of all the stress caused by buying claims. Okay. We have a claim on all the land we need and some extra, so let's go for it now. At this point, we have 6 full stacks of Cataphractoi. Each stack has 15 groups of 50, and they're stat boosted. This stack has 284 total damage now. 4,500 fully equipped heavy cavalry running at you is a scary thought. Our accolade just upgraded, and now we can make those stacks have 800 mid each. It just keeps getting crazier. So that was pretty easy. We just need that one county in Tunis. It feels weird declaring war on the Byzantines for just one county in Africa, but it's just what we gotta do. We actually captured the leader, so that was very fast. This should mean that we can restore the Roman Empire now. Bam! We're all red and stuff now. Being the Roman Empire gives us a new war goal to take any duchy that the Empire used to control at its peak. I'll probably still use kingdom-sized war goals when possible, but if I can't, I can use this new goal. Now that we form the Empire, it's time to restore the peak borders. We can test out that new war goal on Brittany here. The best part about it is that it's free. This is the kind of thing I'm scared of. My army is fighting in Brittany, but rebels are rising up all the way in the Byzantine Empire. This rebellion isn't too bad, so I'm hoping my levies can beat it. But if we get too many rebellions at once, it could be a huge issue. Fortunately, we captured the peasant leader in one battle, but we won't always be as lucky. Back home, I'm increasing the development of these counties in the north. The 2 counties up here both have a slot to build a university, which is a great building for development and for increasing research speed. It requires you to have level 30 development in the county to build it, so that's what we're going for, of course. The wars over Brittany have been won, and that's another kingdom in the empire. Hey, there's now a guy we can recruit who has a claim over France. We just entered the high medieval era, which means it's time to get some more innovations. Windmills are an awesome building, so I'm going with that first. And because of how insane our development is, it's only going to take 8 years to unlock. We also just won the war for France. The Roman Empire has some cool flavor text when you reclaim a lost territory. The shining armies of the Romans march again into the lands that our ancestors once held. Nowadays, the locals call this area Touraine, from the now forgotten Latin name of its main settlement, Civitas Turnum. In the last days of the western part of the empire, the city was a true metropolis, dominating the whole province of Lugdunum. Since then, its importance has only partially diminished, as Christian pilgrims still flock to it on their way to Santiago, and it has acted as a bulwark against 2 invasions, that of the Arabs and that of the Vikings. True Roman spirit still lingers in this land, and they will rediscover it whether they like it or not. This is kind of a weird war, but we can take the Kingdom of Al-Andalus, which doesn't normally look like this. Another easy win. Oh cool, this place is a pop-up too. I don't think I should read all of these though. They're kinda long. Point is, centuries have passed since the city fell into barbarian hands for the latest time. However, as our control is reinstated in Iberia, the glory of Justinian seems within reach once again. Iberia is going to be a real struggle to take, so I'm just going to start one duchy at a time. We reconquered Tangiers. Our dynasty just got enough renown for the 5th and final tier in the customs branch, which unlocks the celebrate other cultures decision. It makes counties of other cultures stronger for 10 years, at the cost of money, which, to be honest, isn't particularly good. I think this dynasty legacy branch kinda sucks, but it made sense to go for the sake of the Roman Empire. Even though we're chill with the other cultures, a few of our vassals want independence. Maybe if I do some executions and get our dread up, it'll scare them off. It did not scare them off. Okay, now that's actually crazy. The Byzantines really don't know when to quit. France was the leader of the revolution, so I went and attacked them first. And it worked to get me 100 war score. The windmills innovation just finished. I'm going for hoardings next for the level 3 castles. We can build watermills, which at higher levels give an extra percentage modifier for gold. And we can build windmills for development growth. It doesn't matter which one we build first because we'll build both eventually, so I'm going with watermills for the slight cost discount. I defeated the Byzantines yet again. I can't wait to destroy their empire title, as in this game they are the Roman pretenders. One thing we can do now to solidify Roman rule is mend the Great Schism. This will make Catholicism the only legit Christian religion, and convert most of the other Christians to it. Our character that formed the empire just died, and we went from making money to losing 100 gold per month. Our army is huge, and the new leader just doesn't make nearly as much money as our previous guy. I sorted it out, and now we're back to making some money with our army raised. Granted, it's much lower than before. Now I have vassals trying to lower my crown authority, which wouldn't be the worst thing to happen, but still gotta try and stop it. The leader of the rebellion is Serbia, so I'll raise my troops and attack here first. They rushed my capital, but my army is still in Serbia. I can only hope they arrive in time. Oh, well, they didn't arrive in time. Could be worse. Our crown authority is now level 3 instead of level 4. I'd rather build new stuff than have a high crown authority. There it is. We can destroy the Byzantines once we get the legendary figure level of fame. We can host a bunch of events like the Grand Tournament to get ourselves prestige. For some reason, the Pope is still calling crusades, and for this crusade, he is literally calling it for the kingdom all the way on the edge of the map. I think this is literally the furthest away from Rome that you can get. We're still missing a little bit of Europe, but I think once I take the Kingdom of Lotharingia, we'll have all the previously Roman land in this area. We unlocked hoardings, so I'm upgrading all our castles to level 3. Once these castles reach level 3, we can then upgrade our economic buildings to level 5. It is costing us most of our money to do these upgrades, so the rate I can do them will slow down. Nowadays, the locals call this city Trier, but we still remember how our people used to call it, Augusta Treverorum. Germanic invaders have long overtaken it, more recently even fashioning themselves as emperors, abusing a title that does not belong to barbarians. It matters no more. We have almost all the European territory we need, so I'm gonna go to Africa and start taking those lands. This territory is a little scary to take, since most of the peasants are Muslims who won't take kindly to a Catholic invading their land. As the other realms start upgrading their castles, it's taking longer to siege them, but fortunately, we're close to unlocking trebuchets, which will nullify that issue. England has been independent for too long. Let's take their land. England is kind of funny though, since Daneland owns most of Britain. Well, this is weird. Vikings are invading the Isle of Man. There's England conquered, southern England at least. The rest of England can be taken from the Danelaw. And there's England in the hands of the Romans once again. Now the wall lies in ruins, and barbarians have spread throughout the land for centuries. But no more. Today, Hadrian's frontier stands again. We can now get those trebuchets that I mentioned, and they should breeze past any and all defenses. Back in Romagna, those universities have been built. Our development is still pretty high, especially in Rome. Italy has a ton of universities. Some of our vassals are once again trying to win their independence. It's right on the edge of going through, so if I marry for an alliance with just one vassal, it should prevent the rebellion. And yep, that stopped it before it started. I've been taking more of Iberia because obviously I have to, and each war I win gives me more fame, which I've been trying to get for a while now. The way Iberia is just makes it really slow to get more land. I'm also going to keep taking land in northern Africa, like the Kingdom of Tahert. For some reason, it's owned by the Arabian Empire. As expected, I ran out of money while upgrading my economic buildings to level 5. Oh damn, that timing is crazy. We've reached the legendary figure status, and as such, we can declare war to destroy the Byzantines. Before we do that, I actually want to declare war for all this land so we can get it at the same time. We got the innovation that lets you declare war for multiple of someone else's claims, so we can just remove the Byzantine Empire claim and go to war for all the land instead. And the Egyptian Asharis are rebelling against me. Hopefully my levies can deal with that. Yes, they can. I got lucky and captured the leader once again. The war for all that Byzantine land is now won, and in 5 years, when the truce ends, we can destroy the Byzantine title. The truce is over, and it's time to assert the new Roman Empire's dominance. They're just running away, so it'll be easy. There we go. Our Roman Empire is now the only Roman Empire. If you look at the map, the Byzantine's land is now de jure Roman. All the Byzantine duchies are down to become vassals peacefully now, which is pretty nice. Our empire is looking close to being complete. You'd think it would be super easy from here, but there's always the chance of multiple rebellions at once. We have 100 development in Rome now. It doesn't really matter, but it is cool. The only other empire left is the Abbasid Empire, so I bought claims for each duchy we need to restore the Roman borders in one go. We now control Edessa. Just a few more places to go. Maghreb successfully conquered. The rest of what used to be the Byzantines conquered as well. Some weird succession thing happened and caused the Danelaw to leave the empire, so I'll conquer that again. Look at our money here. 275 from the domain, plus the 50 gold from the temples in our domain. Even though we own a huge empire, our vassals are only paying us 100 gold, but with our bonuses we're making over 500 gold per month if you add it all up. We're spending half of that on raised armies and court amenities, which is fine since that's still a ton of profit. I'm surprised court amenities cost that much though. The war for the rest of England, which in this game is the Danelaw, is won. We already had that pop up, but there it is again. This might be one of the last couple of counties left to take. The Egyptian peasants are rebelling once again. I'll get my levies to take care of that for us. Oh, damn, we've died. We're now our 27-year-old son, and we're losing a ton of money. We don't have enough perks unlocked for divided attention, so I can't hold all of our castles. And this time, we didn't capture the peasant leader right away, so we'll have to defeat all the peasants before winning against the uprising. The peasants are super spread out. There's some stacks all the way on the west coast of Africa too. The Orthodox peasants are now uprising against us as well. I'm hoping that the Knights Templar can beat these peasants right away. Mercenaries and holy orders immediately spawn wherever your rally point is. We just won the war we started for that one county, but the rebellions are the important wars to win. I'm losing way too much money per month, so I'm reducing our court amenities a bunch. Also, somehow we're ranked second in the world and not first. The Holy Order must have done its job while I wasn't looking, as we just won that war pretty quickly. There's still Ashari peasants all over the place that I'm hunting down group by group. Well, that can't be good. This is what I was saying. Once a character dies as a bad time, there will be tons of rebellions to deal with. The rebellion doesn't have a ton of troops. They're so spread out it could be tough. The Independence faction war leader is Jerusalem, so I'm sending my main force there. Okay, we finally beat the Ashari uprising, so now it's just the Independence faction left, which should be easy to clean up. I'm sending all my extra levies and mercenaries to the capital, just in case they try to siege it, like those rebels did before. I can't believe this. The Vikings are seriously still trying to invade us. You know what? Honestly, I don't care. They can just have the land. I sieged down all the castles in Jerusalem, bringing us over the finish line to win the war. So many rebellions had to be put down when I was so close. I think it's just the land in Iberia left to conquer. So let's do that. And that was easy. I'm checking our neighboring countries to see if any of them have formerly Roman land. Oh, these guys do. They have 3 duchies we need to take. So, I just took their whole country. I thought I had completed the empire, but I kept discovering small little places I missed. I know I'm missing something, but I really can't figure out what it is. Oh my god, I figured it out. The last place we have a Restore Imperial Province Casus Belli on is this random Canary Island. There you have it, the Roman Empire in CK3 terms completed. The Roman Empire in real life controlled Arabia at one point, so I'll have to take that too. Die! Die! Yeah, so we just killed over 20,000 men in one fight. There we go. There can only be one empire. There's the Roman Empire for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my other interesting videos. In this video here, I combine cost reduction modifiers to make buildings essentially free.